welcome back to J.P.'s World of Wrestling. I am your man, J.P. So it's Friday. I've got some time on my hands because my employment situation has changed. And that's all I'm going to talk about it at this point in time. I'll talk more about that later. But today, we're talking about Mo. WWE's Mo. Well, back then, when he was in, it was WWF. But, you know, he was born Robert Lawrence Horn. And he was born on April 14th, 1967. And he died on October 19th of this year, 2025. He was 58 years old. You know, it's always sad when somebody dies, and in this community, the wrestling community, it's always sad when a wrestler or former wrestler passes away. You know, his tag team partner, Mabel, passed away several years ago. You know, they came in as a tag team called Men on a Mission. And we all remember that tag team. They came in, I think, 94 or 95. I think it was 94. And they came in as kind of a street rapper, hip-hop gimmick. And their manager was Oscar. And when they would come to the ring, Oscar, you know, he would do kind of like this fun rap. And, he would get the fans into it. He's like, you know, wave your hands in the air. Wave like you just don't care. And, you know, the fans would get into it. And it was really fun. It was a really fun tag team. It reminded me a lot of kind of like the Bushwhackers. Not exactly the Bushwhackers, but kind of in that vein where, you know, they were just kind of a fun tag team. You know, they were probably going to be put in the middle of the card. Although Men on a Mission did compete for the WWF tag team titles on a number of occasions. And Mabel himself actually won the 95 King of the Ring. And he main evented against Diesel. But this is about Mo. Mo, he was with Mabel for a while as a wrestler. But then when Men on a Mission turned heel, you know, shortly after that, he became sort of Mabel's new manager. And, you know, they ditched Oscar. And so instead of Men on a Mission or Mom, they just became, I don't know. But anyway, Mo became sort of the spokesperson for Mabel. And after Mabel won the King of the Ring, when they were heels, you know, he would come down, you know, kind of with a scroll or whatever on one event, say, hear ye, all hail King Mabel. And that's whenever they would talk about, you know, the royal plan of Mabel. It's all part of the royal plan. But, you know, eventually Mo went away, and it was just Mabel. And then Mo, I don't know, he might have wrestled independently or something, I don't know, but he went away from the WWF. And I remember, you know, he was never nearly as big as Mabel. He was always sort of like the guy that, you know, gets kind of beat up before he tags in Mabel. Then Mabel would come in and clean house, you know, and a lot of tag teams were that way. So, I remember a couple memories. I remember Survivor Series. I think it was probably the 94 Survivor Series. But Bam Bam Bigelow was having a feud with Doink the Clown. And so and at that point, you know, we were seeing multiple Doink the Clowns everywhere. You know, at WrestleMania 9, there were 2 Doinks. And then from that point on, you never knew how many Doinks were going to show up, because really you could put makeup on just about anybody that was about Doink size with the outfit, and you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. But at this particular Survivor Series, Doink told Bam Bam, well, you're going to have to fight 4 Doinks at Survivor Series. So ended up being, you know, the Bushwhackers and Men on a Mission dressed up in Doink's face paint. And at one point, I think Mo actually had a little scooter, and he was sort of riding around like the inside of the ring on a scooter, just to be sort of like a Doink at that moment of time. But, you know, that was kind of fun. And then I remember a Royal Rumble where Mo had one of the shortest Royal Rumble stints that I've seen ever. Like, he came in, then he went charging to do like kind of like a spinning like back splash, high crossbody move, but his opponent moved out of the way. He just sort of went over the top, got eliminated immediately. So anyway, that was kind of fun. But I really just remember Mo as just being part of a fun tag team. And he was always just kind of fun to watch. So, and I salute anybody in the wrestling industry that's ever put on a pair of trunks or tights and went in there and did it and put their bodies on the line for the sake of our entertainment. So, Mo, rest in peace, brother. I salute you. So that is going to do it for this video. If you're new, feel free to like and subscribe. Join me next. I'm just about getting ready to do a couple more videos on Halloween Havoc 92 and 93. So, you don't want to miss that. So, I'll see you next time.